All right. The date is August 16th, 2024 on the Gregorian calendar. And we just gonna talk about right now, man. Why does it seem some people just waiting on death to live? Why are some people waiting on death to live? And they see all these things going on in the world right now. I mean, it's always something going on in the world, no matter what time period you were living. I'm pretty sure you was thinking that your time period was the most important time period, or you was just well aware of everything, the goods and the bads during whatever time period. But this is a time period with all types of shit going on, from cosmic shit. They talking about aliens and different spacecrafts, whether it's from underground or other dimensions or other planets, experiencing that. People talking about the Aquarian age is coming in. You understand that that's basically is Aquarian representing water. You feel me? You can say the wealth is about to flow. You can say it's a whole new level of unity. Some people attribute it to the matriarch system coming back in full force. Um, and a lot of things, transformation. You feel me? At the same time, no matter what situation you in, you got some shit that you do not like, and you got some shit that you do like. That's called life. No matter what level you at, you feel me? And throughout every level of my life, I felt like I needed to get more done, need to get more shit popping. Because I tend to look at this whole world. You feel me? You got solar flares. There's a lot of people talking about the solar flares right now, as if the dome is, what I'm saying, the layer of the dome is decreasing and getting thin. And if that's happening, what I'm saying, there's a high amounts of radiation that's coming through. At the end of the day, I look at it all like vibes. You feel me? It's a whole bunch of vibes hitting the planet right now. And what I've had to do with vibes my whole life is transmute things and make things seem the best that they can seem for me, and make things go towards, make energy transmute and evolve and go towards the best causes that I could think of. And I'm sure you got to do that too sometimes. And a lot of people, for whatever reasons, I can't speak of other people 100%, maybe 25 or 50%, because I'm just coming from my perspective. Yet I do have a perspective of realizing that we all are connected to the divine source of all things. You feel me? At the end of the day, when you break it all down to frequencies, or you break it all down to elements, we all are the same when it comes on the element aspect, but we are a differentiation of how much of what elements, and some elements some people have and other people don't have. At the end of the day, once you break down all the elements on the periodic chart, it all boils down to hydrogen. You see what I'm saying? That's something to think about. And then when you're not thinking about the physical traits of life, and you're thinking spiritual or cosmic, and you're just thinking waveforms and frequencies, what I'm saying, and emanations of light, radiation, and stuff like that. That's a whole nother level of life. When you actually accepting your connection to all of those things, you look at yourself as something different. You're looking at your energy fields. You're looking at your, they call chakras. At the end of the day, how you dealing with these different energy vortexes, how you dealing with these different feelings and emotions, and just learning a lot about yourself. I consistently learned a lot about myself as well. You feel me? So I perceive a lot of people, whether they not tapping into their history, whether they not perceiving that they have a mission. Some people gotta just know you got a mission. You feel me? Like whether you look at your natal chart, or you try to find out some more deep stuff about your people, your family, or you uncover stories, or you ask yourself, hey, why do I do this? Why do I do that? What do I really like? What do I really love? Am I acting like this for me or some other people? You just do some questions, some research and development on yourself. A lot of people may not be willing to do the research and development of themselves, and they're only dealing with themselves from the perspective of, they try to be something for life. You feel me? Life can put us through a lot of things, and we come up with different character traits or different ways we're gonna go about things or deal with things, and then sometimes you get trapped into those decisions you make, and you become a different type of person. You feel like you got to live up to certain things, certain thoughts, certain ideas that you were given by others, or that you experienced through life, and these ideas hitting you, and you trying to either live up to them and adjusting what you see yourself as is not a skill a lot of people have, but it's something that people have to do and beings have to do consistently in this world of transfiguration, transmutation, and growth, and where energy is never. And I'm saying this because energy is never destroyed. That's a fact, Jack. You feel that's a fact. Energy is never destroyed. It's always transmuted. It's always transforming into something else. So, with that being said, it's like the things we go through, if we don't deal with them, they're going to deal with us. And the way we can deal with them is by literally just using the energy that they bring us, harnessing that energy, becoming some sort of portal where the energy could be balanced and managed properly, and then put forth towards goals that in visions and perspectives that you have. You know, having that realization that you a co-creator in life, that's something that you know what I'm saying, help put you in the game in a way where you wouldn't necessarily be waiting for death to live. And I've said that, you know, like, why are some people waiting on death to live? Because, you know, a lot of times people dealing with situation, or we look at the world and we just think this is how the world is, this is how it gotta be, this is how it's gonna be, this is what the world is, period. You feel me? Whether ourselves, this is who I am, this is who I am, period. You know, I used to say a lot of times, you know, this is me. You know what I'm saying? This is who I am. At the end of the day, you know, now I'm realizing a lot of times, you know, this is who that's somebody that I chose to become. You feel me? That's somebody that I chose to become based on some decisions that I made and principles that I looked up to or accepted and adopted, and ideas, principalities, right? And I'm saying this because, you know, it took me personally just staying connected to the idea and the principalities and the principles that I am that which I am. I am what I am. I am what I am. And that is the same form of being and the type of being that was here before anything was here, right? And I am part of the Most High, in the image of the Most High, a unique emanation of the Most High. And by consistently just allowing myself the grace and the space to grow and to experience and to even, you know, ask myself, what do I wish to experience of the world? What do I wish to present and bring to the world? What stuff in the world do I perceive could be adjusted, and how, based upon my uniqueness that I have to offer the world? And then just realizing that, yes, this physical vessel is here. At the same time, we dealing with energies, we dealing with melanin. I'm a melanated being, so I get to deal with melanin, and we deal with that energy that basically absorbs all types of electromagnetic radiation. And that's what melanin does, right? It's absorbing all types of electromagnetic radiation. And as the solar flares is increasing, I'm gonna go outside to the ocean a little bit, right across the street in a second. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, I'm over here in Brazil, and I just got out here just to literally get closer to the ocean and shit. So if you can see right behind where I'm at, I don't know how you can see though, ain't nothing but water, ain't nothing but agua, fresh agua, for experiencing life, and you know what I'm saying, going on catching the vibe. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go catch me a vibe. You feel me? And that's part of this life. You catch you a vibe, and you realize you're part of the vibes, and you are one with the vibes. And no matter where you at, you know, you can be part of the vibes and one with the vibes. Just, you know, and I'm saying that because if you know that you're part of the vibes and you one with the vibes, and the vibes is all things and flowing through all things, and all things is from a vibe, of a vibe, and is a vibe. All things is from a vibe, of a vibe, and is a vibe. And all things is from the source, part of the source, and is the source. If you have that unique overstanding above all understandings, then no matter what understanding you have, you still tapped in to that portal that allows you to know that you can live right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like you are living right now and living in a way which means you are able and capable of experiencing and being a unique emanation of the most high. So you get to experience unique emanations, a unique, parts or aspects of the most high. And that's all things, situations, energies, elements, people, lessons that you go through, hungers, pains, wants, wishes. You feel what I'm saying? Like all this, you feel me? The ups and the downs, the balancing, the you to realizing that you have a ability to, not going to say control, but influence and affect and be one with all things. You know what I'm saying? And you exercising that ability to the best of your ability consistently. That game will keep you in the game, I say. And regardless of what transformations or, you know, unique experiences you got to go through and get to, ain't no throwing in the towel. Ain't no throwing in the towel. Ain't no towels to throw in. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't no waiting on death to live. We live in every day, and we realizing that, in the process of manifestation, we could say from the darkness and the depthness of black, that which absorbs all things, right? Capable of absorbing all things. And what's crazy, and not even crazy, but amazing, is melanin and has the ability of, what's that, like radio production. So it's like it produces the waves as well. It produces waves and energy transduction. So it can transmute and transduce energy, basically brings energy in no matter what it is. Could imagine like an elixir or something that just melts all the energy into something that just can be utilized, and then transduced and distributed like radio waves. It protects against the radio waves, and it can emanate different waves as well. So imagine something that can bring in anything and uniquely turn it into anything. You know what I'm saying? So all things that you go through in life, basically, just know that you get to utilize that according to your willpower. You get to utilize that energy, the raw energy of those experiences, of the things, of the situation. You get to utilize that raw energy and put it towards whatever your desired reality is that you envision, and that you work yourself into being one with on a frequency, a vibe level. You accept that vision that you see. You become one with that vision that you see. You're not separate from that vision that you see, and all things that you go through, all experiences that you have, you know that all of that is going towards the greatness and the goodness of that vision which you see. And that's part of co-creating with the most high and with the elements and with all things and all beings around here. And knowing that when you project, you putting energy out there, right? That's part of a work of the most high. That's a grand mission. You putting energy out there. So think about the energy you putting out there. That's a divine operation. To project energy. You project energy because that energy projected, and according to physics and according to quantum physics and according to science and frequencies and radio waves and electromagnetic principles, according to all of that, the energy you project, it is projected throughout all things and all beings throughout this realm, and it's traveling faster than the speed of light, and it gets back to you. It's going throughout all things, and it comes back around to you. So it literally emanates throughout all things, and it plays its part in the co-creation of life, no matter whether you realize it or not. So no matter whether you realize it or not, the things that you say and the realities that you perceive are true, and that is all playing a part of your reality. And a lot of times I'm realizing I'm becoming way more conscious of this, and way more conscious of the moments in time when I may say something or feel some way or express a feeling, or project energy that cannot benefit me at all. That is more like a fear-based or a pain or cry, or you know, literally like from an energy of, or a lack energy, or from a perspective of hurt or victimization. You know, those things, those energies, they have the capacity to create those same realities that they seem to be addressing. So it's like hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Because what I realize is at the same time I have the option to address an issue or a problem. That same moment I have the opportunity to be the solution at whatever degree I could be the solution, to whatever degree I could be the solution in whatever realm. See, because when you know that you don't have to wait to die, I mean, you don't have to wait to die to live, then you could allow yourself to die to certain thoughts and live right now. You know, whether you can live, you can say, okay, I may not. You may can say, okay, what could I do about a situation in the spiritual, in the emotional world, in the mental world, or in the physical world, right? All these different worlds. You may not perceive that you could do something in the physical world about a situation, but you may be able to do something in the emotional world and put some emotions towards that situation that you perceive could cause a solution. You may be able to put some mental energy and imagine the solutions coming through, or imagine certain situations happening in regards to that. You may be able to put some energy through in the spiritual world and project out and connect out with all things and all beings in the most high and all realms. You feel me? To visually and with your imagination and spiritually and mentally all align that reality and see that reality in those worlds. And then you see, okay, this physical world, you know, that's the fact that this physical world, the things that we can sense are temporary. The things that we can sense, it is stated, the things that we can sense, these are things that are condensed energies. So, and they're essentially on the realm of manifestation. It is the last thing to adjust if you want to think about time like that. Nevertheless, that's just to say, don't be dismayed and don't perceive that something isn't true if all you don't have is the physical evidence. Like if you have the spiritual evidence, you got the mental clarity on it, you have the emotional capacity, you perceive that all of those are in alignment, then that body is going to get in alignment. Or that 3D realm is only a matter of what you call time. It's only a matter of time for the physical world to start to reflect that which the spiritual, mental, emotional world is already, you know, pretty much in alignment on, you know. So I state that to say that is a skill and a reality and an ability for any man, woman, and child who has the capacity to, you know what I'm saying, absorb electromagnetic radiation, you feel what I'm saying, and radio production and energy transmutation and energy transduction. You feel me? That's literally characteristic traits of you. Those things that you could do, meaning you could turn anything into anything. Okay, you can turn any situation into any situation, right? Literally by transmuting the energies of the situation or transmuting the energies of your thinking. You can turn your thinking into another thought process. You can turn your lifestyle into another lifestyle. You can turn a place where you're at to another place, right? All based upon transmuting energy, utilizing always what you have now, because that's always the things that you must transmute, you know, or transduct, right? Transfer, deal with, however you want to look at it. Those are the things you're dealing with. And you want to literally perceive that they are exactly what you need. The situation, the circumstance, the elements, the people, the reality that you're facing, perceive that that is exactly what's necessary for you to accomplish and get to exactly where you envision. And share that vision with others, whether you share it physically and through words, or you share it emotionally and mentally, and you project it out emotionally and mentally while you're around people, and hey, start seeing how you are part of this co-creation process. Start seeing and tapping into the different energies of the different days. You feel me? Um, Not to get too deep, but I'll just say if you notice every day is a different color on the, you know what I'm saying, on where it needs to be. Let's just say there's a different color is how I um, remind myself to stay in alignment with the vibe of the day. And you know, there's different systems for all things. I would just say I'm tapped into a system as like Jotis is Joitis. It's more as like a Vedic system, Vedic astrology system where you know you there's a color for each day, right? So on Sunday, you feel me? It's more like a Sunday, right? Sunday is a Sunday. You know, sun is the element of that day, right? And red would be the color that day, right? So that's a situation. And if you was to look at Monday, right? Monday, then the moon would represent the planetary that has you know, most influence over that day, and the color would be white, right? So, and if you look at the day Tuesday, Mars would be the element that has the, you know, energy of the most energy prevalent over that day, ruling that day, shall we say, right? And then the color of Mars would be red, right? And we look at Wednesday, the ruler or the planetary ruler for that day would be Mercury. And the color for that would be green. You know what I'm saying? And then if you keep going, Thursday, you got Jupiter. The color for that could be yellow. And there's different alterations of colors, yet this is the color palette that aligns with me the most as as it relates to the traditions of this specific tradition, this customary practice. Friday, you got the planetary system of Venus, which is ruling that day, and the color would be white, or you could even do like a light purple type vibe. You know what I'm saying? Sunday, right? Well, we always said Sunday. We started with Sunday. So Saturday, the day would be, say, the planetary ruler that day would be Saturn. So you got Saturday, the planetary ruler being Saturn, and the color black. So that's pretty much how that rocks and roll. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end and the beginning of the day, there's different situations that people facing that you may not feel like you connected with being able to influence life, but you are. And I just realized I'm in the future. I'm in the future. I got black up here. It's Friday. Supposed to be rocking with some white or some like purple. And I maintain the black, right? I maintain the black on this video because to me it represents, you know, uh let's just say that which absorbs is capable of absorbing all things and transmuting all things. Now, I am going to let's just say wear red, right? I will wear red daily because that you know just to that is like the day I was born on a Tuesday. I was born on a Tuesday, and say Mars rules the Tuesday, right? So just out of respect for that, stating that's a red energy. So say I wear red every day, not literally, but just figuratively, I'm in the red energy every day because that's the ruling energy of me, right? And then just to take into consideration what's the effect of say Mars on the different elements? What's the effect of Mars on the sun or the moon? What's the effect of Mars and Mercury, Mars and Jupiter, Mars and Venus, Mars and Saturn, right? And what that represents is like Mars, for instance, represents say intellect, you know what I'm saying? Say energy, really, because Mercury, you could say Mercury is intellect. So just say it's like energy. Mars representing energy, and you know what I'm saying, that fiery, zestful, you know, not zesty, but zestful, like real aggressive type energy, right? So say you have a natural capacity to be aggressive or fiery, right? And you dealing with today, and say today, for instance, even though I got the black up, say it's a white or light purple day. It's a Venus type of day. It's an artistic day where you should be vibing out. You know, since it's a Friday, be artistic with it. So if you aggressive or you fiery, you got a lot of energy, yet it's the day for art, then you might be expressing your art in an aggressive way. You feel what I'm saying? Or in a real vibrant way. So let me just get in alignment real quick. If you got 5 seconds, let me get in alignment. Because you know, I'm playing games with this black right here. And this is all And that's something about the arts, right? Because this is an art. Spirituality is an art. Spirituality is an art. Life is an art. You know, the game of life is an art. So things represent things. They keep things on your remembrance. You know, I could have hit it with the light purple, but I got the light purple doing something right now. So yeah, I like working with colors and the elements of colors and all of this, right? If you're thinking about why am I speaking about this? Because if you can look at yourself as one with all of these things and see your relationship with the basic elements of life, you don't have to wait on death to live. You realize that death is just another transition. Matter of fact, we dying every day. If you really want to think about it, you can break it down to a breath. In between every breath is a death. If you really break it down to a heartbeat, in between every heartbeat is a death. If you really break it down to every sleep, every time you sleep, wake up, that's a death and a wake up. You see what I'm saying? Anytime and every time you do anything that puts you in alignment with the Most High, how you perceive the Most High is, you good. You feel me? And I see you, Mike Hunt, talking about you aligning with the stars as we speak. That's what's up. James Jackson, fuel up. That's what we have to do. We have to. My bad. I wasn't even really looking at y'all up in here. Um, you hear colors. Do I have schizophrenia? I hear colors. Do I have? No, you ain't got schizophrenia. You can. You know, I was thinking about having a you know, because you hear colors. That's like somebody saying, man, this art spoke to me. This art piece, I saw this piece of art, this art spoke to me. Well, some people might audioly hear that shit. You feel me? Hear what somebody sees. Can't nobody tell you what what you can and can't do. You experience it. You will be able to experience yourself at higher levels if you just allow yourself to experience life, right, for what it is, instead of boxing things into what you perceive they should be or what they have to be. If you perceive shit, something, life is this, bow, is this. And then it's showing you that it's not, you might feel like you're going crazy because now you're dealing with the reality of life. Your face to see it, yet you haven't accepted it because you told yourself it's life supposed to be like this. You know, and a lot of these labels people have, whether you say ADHD, because shit, I've been through a lot of shit at different moments. When you look at the definitions of a lot of this shit, we got a lot of this shit. You feel me? Because different moments put you through different situations. You may have some moments where it created a post-traumatic stress disorder or post-traumatic slave disorder, you know, or some depression, you feel me, or actually some anxiety or some over positive energy or some naivety, you feel what I'm saying, or some misplaced love or some misplaced hate, right? All of this stuff, you know, if you think about multiple personalities, I mean, at the end of the day, human beings, if you know, if you're not looking at them based on the taxonomy definition, which y'all could look at some previous videos on what is a family, see about that. But if you know that you're not just an animal and you got a spiritual capacity and a capacity to be one with all things, and you're naturally automatically communicating with all elements throughout the cosmos. Just you, that's called the subconscious. That's called the 99% of shit that you can't stop that's going on in the world. 99.999% of the world is that unseen subtle force that's operating throughout all of us. It is the reason you talk, the ability for you to talk, the ability for you to move. Think about all of that. Like, you can't measure that. And if you had to measure it, it would be immeasurable. That's the measurement. Like, if you had to measure how much force is going through me when I talk, or what makes me say something when I just thought it, or what makes my arm move. Like, I'm having these ideas to move, but what, I didn't have to tell my arm to move or my leg to move, but it's all happening. Like, if you really, really consciously look at it, you will actually feel and see energies working with you, way more energies than you give credit to. And that's what we're talking about here. If you start to give credit to the energies and the forces that's naturally operating with you every day, that you naturally operating with every day, I'm gonna tell you, you start to have a more appreciation for life. Yet it's hard to do that, and some people don't see the signs of the times because they caught up in the signs of their minds. Like, a lot of people want to tell they self, for instance, you know, if I want somebody to treat me a certain way, or if I want life to do a very specific thing and it doesn't, and I'm getting all pissed off instead of looking at what it is doing, then I'll never be able to appreciate the things that I should or be able to appreciate now if all I'm doing is judging life according to what I believe it should be. It took me a whole long time to get up out of that, because I'd be so aggressive and so ready to live a certain lifestyle that I see, or ready for somebody to see a perspective that I have, where I can't even see life for what it is in a lot of times. And that's why I know this to be true. Yeah, you get to explore a lot of different things, a lot of different elements, these planets and these colors and these frequencies and these vibes start meaning a lot more to you, right? Your relationship with frequencies, with colors, with sounds, with water, with air, with earth. Like, it may sound strange, yet just being more conscious of it. Like, if you drinking water, be more conscious of the water. Like, you might as well say something good about the water or to the water. Water actually programs into whatever you say. Like, if you say, man, it's some bullshit, and you drinking the water, then you're literally drinking bullshit. If you be like, man, it's off the chain, we love it, we powerful, we prosperous, the molecules of the water will change and adjust accordingly to the energy, the emotions, and the intent that you got, and you'll be drinking that positivity, drinking that prosperity. You feel what I'm saying? And that literally, through your imagination, especially when your imagination operating as well, it allows your body to be programmed into what you was drinking. You drinking prosperity, you drinking wealth, you drinking peace, you drinking abundance. It's the same with music, right? Like, listen to some vibes and make you feel great, and you feeling great. Now you're great all of a sudden. So what I'm stating is, these are connections and connectivity between elements. And if you can see and sense and maintain an awareness of your connectivity between all things, then you can't lose. At the same time, you got to know victory may not be what you used to perceive it to be, or what you currently perceive it to be. Victory in this game of life is life itself. So the fact that you experiencing it, you already won. You already won. And you literally get to program what lessons you having. You get to program your blessings. You get to program all of that. You feel me? You get to program, like, a lot now. I'm more conscious of what I say to myself about myself. I've been hard on myself for my whole life, and at the end of the day, that's cool. It could get you somewhere, but at the same time, I've been more conscious about loving myself, man, saying good things about myself, and being appreciative of the steps that I'm taking. That allows you to be patient, because if you only can appreciate the goals at the end, the road, during the road and the journey, you're gonna feel like that's some bullshit. It's all hard and harsh and going through it and bad attitude. But the journey is most of the time in anything divine, most of the time in this realm is a journey. You're in between a moment and another moment, right? As far as goals go. And when you think about that, you more so like that's just evidence that you're a wave, because the way that particles and waves operate is particles turn to waves, and then they turn back into particles. And their waves were not observed, or were not watched, or were not looked at. So most of your time in life, you're really just doing you by yourself, with yourself, for the most part, unless you then made yourself a part of a society consistently all the time. Even in that situation, what I'm saying, you making your choices inside of your mind, you by yourself internally with yourself. And what the goal is when you by yourself with yourself, to realize what you love about yourself, what you wish, which parts of you wish to experience in this greater world. Like, you can project great parts of you out into this world in the forms of companies, thoughts, ideas, experiences, art. Create some shit, put it out there, watch people witness it, observe it, a piece of you, a part of you. Now you it's life. You feel me? And what's the goal? After food, water, shelter, clothing, housing, and security, which a lot of people perceive that's impossible to have for the masses. You know, food, water, shelter, clothing, housing, security. That's some basics that I truly perceive right now during this timeline. That's why we alive, to ensure that everybody got access to that. Because only when that happens, I perceive, can people really allow themselves to full time go down this type of route, even though we already full time working with the divine. You see what I'm saying? We already full time, 24/7, 365, operating with the Most High, working with the divine. You know, yet consciously and intently, in order to create the visions that we see, that'll happen once food, water, shelter, clothing, housing, and security is something that's not like a wish and a dream for most people. So as long as that's a wish and a dream for most people throughout the world, we still got something to do this lifetime. And that's enough reason to live before you die. Okay. And adding all that into the situations, just know some people waiting on death because they believe that that's how you live. They believe that you gotta wait until you die. They believe more so in, say, you know, the perspective of the hereafter, that you're gonna win, you're gonna experience your blessings after life. You feel me? That type of shit. Those perspectives, some religious perspectives got people chilling on life, wait until everybody died to the hereafter and experience some life. Some people just got a lot of fear in them due to colonization and wars. And some people just caught up in the mix, living daily life, attempting to survive, right? To maintain a food, water, shelter, clothing, housing, right? And get some sense of security around this motherfucker, right? The basics. Yeah, we got a lot of shit going on, a lot of more knowledge about finance, a lot of more knowledge about negotiable instruments, a lot of new financial systems, a lot of new ways for people to basically exchange products and services. And we got different forms of communities and different forms of tribes. And I just look at this world as something that's not, it's not over. It's not done being created. It's not done being uh, defined. It's not done being organized. And as long as it's not done being created and it's still, we still here, we can still co-create the realities that we see fit. And as long as that's the reality, just stay in the game. You ain't got no choice whether you know it or not. You're gonna be in the game. So as long as you're in the game, you might as well play it to win. That's how I feel. So peace and prosperity.